What's going on out there, peeps? A lot of interesting news coming out recently. All this crap in the news about painting Trump as a boogeyman, we're finding out that's not the case. The lying media is trying to paint Trump as a boogeyman, but the rest of America see him exactly as it is, a great president. Look at all these counties that voted for Trump in 2024. It's about to get worse for Democrats. First things first, if you look at the news, they try to tell us how bad the economy is, when the truth of the matter is, it's not bad at all. Putting the tariffs out there is exactly what we needed. Things are starting to turn around. The economy is rebounding and better than before. So Trump, because he's one of the world's greatest trollers, I love that he done this. All the news agencies are in there to ask him a question, and Trump whipped out a computer and played what they said about him and the economy. Let's listen in and watch what he does.
Rick Santelli, this just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Personal income is up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations. I'll tell you, the income numbers, really, for the first 4 months of the year, they're stellar. They're really stellar. I mean, I could go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever in my lifetime had glimpses into the politics of an administration in the form of transparency like this one. Why don't we be, give credit where credit is due. Income really shooting up.
Rick, I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers like current accounts, see how they fared. Because I don't know, I've been watching these numbers a long time. I don't think I've ever seen the trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
Not bad. Right? Not bad.
Come on, guys.
Trade deficit cut in half in 1 month. It's to the point where the media can't lie anymore. They have to tell the truth. Just like in Trump's first term, he is killing it on the economy. He knows what the hell he's doing. But the Democrats are trying to convince you that you're losing all your benefits and lying about what he's doing, and people are losing their rights. It's all fake, and people are tired of it. Because if they believe him, we would not see the shift in voter registration like we do. Let's take a look at what's going on.
Just take a look. The Democrats' problems run deep, nearly everywhere. This is where voters shifted towards President Trump in each of the last 3 elections. The New York Times actually did a little breakdown. I just stumbled upon it, so might as well play this as well. Take a look.
This is the fundamental challenge for the Democratic Party. Trump has been making gains with their base. At the same time, he's been maximizing the Republican base too. This first map shows every county in the country where Republicans have strengthened each time Donald Trump has been on the ballot. And the second map shows you where the Democrats have gotten stronger each election. I'm calling these counties that have moved continuously triple trending counties. These are places where you really see the realignment happening in the country. The maps show the depth of the hole the Democratic Party finds itself in. All told, almost half the counties in America are triple trending to the right, while less than 2% of the counties in the country are trending continuously in the Democratic direction. The biggest concern for the Democratic Party, frankly, isn't just those top-line numbers. It's the demographics and the complexion of those counties themselves.
And this is the biggest takeaway. Quote, almost half of counties are triple trending Republican, meaning cycle after cycle, 3 times in a row, the trend is moving rightward. It's all out devastation, folks. If you're a Democrat strategist and you woke up in the morning and you saw this, you'd spit out your damn coffee. The Democrats are losing ground everywhere. And now the question is, of course, do the Democrats get it? Are they accepting the reality reality, well, not exactly their strong suit, right? Michael Knowles actually spoke about this on Fox News just earlier.
The Democrats are looking at this report out today in the New York Times shows that nearly half the countries in the country are triple trending Republican. Basically, none are triple trending Democrat. They have lost the people. And rather than look in the mirror and say, maybe we need to offer people something different, they say, no, we just need to speak in a way that these dumb idiots can understand. You heard their line. They said, we're speaking in a way that's too professorial. No, the problem isn't the words you're using. It's that you're offering open borders and crime and men in the women's bathroom and all sorts of things that the people don't want. The people are smart enough, and they're smart enough to reject you at the polls.
I remember after the election was over and we were watching the clip from The View, they thought they would make fun of the number of uneducated people that voted for Trump and the amount of educated people that voted for Kamala Harris. I wasn't looking at it the same way that they did. How I was looking at it was, that's not a bad thing. The uneducated are voting for Trump is a good thing. These voters have not been indoctrinated. They haven't been brainwashed. They could do their own research. They could think for themselves, and it benefited Trump big time. They saw the truth. They knew that the media was lying, and so they voted for Trump. Those who are so-called educated, well, they were brainwashed, because that's what universities do, brainwash the students. So to me, that was not necessarily a bad thing. I'd rather have the uneducated. The brain hasn't turned to mush yet. In the last 3 elections, more and more people are voting Republican. That's a triple trend. So despite what the media tells you that what Trump is doing, people hate him, he's a fascist, and he's Hitler and all that stuff, it's all bullshit. People are not falling for it no more. They're not falling for it at all. But have the Democrats learned? No, they haven't learned shit. They're spending $20 million on how to talk to male voters. $20 million. If you take a look at the states on the coast, New Jersey's almost flipped red. New York was almost flipped red. Look at, this is California. The majority of it is red. It's just that there's more of a population in these particular counties. Make no doubt about it. Those places that they thought were safe havens are no longer safe havens. They're flipping. We're tired of what the hell the Democrats are trying to sell us. They want to destroy this country. They don't like this country. They just need to leave. But let's continue and hear about California.
Breaking news, registration for Republicans spiking in California while Democrat numbers are plunging. Yes, it's actually happening, and the media isn't giving this story a whole lot of attention. Plus, California Democrats are gathering this weekend for their annual state convention. But they have 5 big looming problems that might spell disaster for them in the 2026 midterms. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative. I have some amazing news. And you probably have been kind of sensing this and feeling it for a while, but now we have data to actually show you what's really going on. And that is California voters are waking up and they are shifting to the right and the center. And some of them are even taking the extraordinary step of canceling their registration as Democrats and re-registering as a Republican. That's right. We have the latest voter registration stats from the Secretary of State's office showing a spike in Republican registration while Democrat registration is plunging. I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm also going to want to cover what's happening this weekend. California Democrats are gathering in Anaheim for their annual state convention, and they have 5 big problems that they've got to wrestle with that might spell doom for them in the 2026 midterms. But first,
I've spoken about this guy before. His name is Metal Leo. He really was covering music, but then he lives in California, and he spotted some trends happening that disturbed him, and so he's been going around filming what bothers him. And I want to share this with you because look at Fisherman's Wharf is empty. Down in San Francisco, empty. North Beach, San Francisco, empty. Sacramento, it's terrible. So he goes all up and down California and shows people what has happened to these once great cities.
Nobody around. Nobody. In the middle of the day. Anybody around? But nobody around. Is that place open? There's nobody inside.
Most of the stores are closed.
Where is everybody? This used to be another coffee shop. Now gone. Let's look in here. The tables are still in there. Even the coffee machine's still in there. This place here is vacant. I think all of these places are vacant. Look at this. One after the other.
All those stores closed.
This one's vacant. That one's vacant.
Now, this is really sad for me because I used to live in Alameda, California, not far from San Francisco. To see what has happened to Fisherman's Wharf is really terrible. Let's take a look.
100 years ago they opened, in 1925. Not anymore. This was another entrance here. This is where they will have the outside section, boil the crab and sell crab. It used to have restaurants, souvenirs, camera shops, all of it gone. See, every single shop here is gone. One after the other, all closed. Terrible conditions out here. Even in a hot tourist spot, or what used to be a hot tourist spot. There's a Ferris wheel in the background. This place definitely open, but Aliotos is way gone.
That's a trip to see because that's been open as long as I can remember.
Both Aliotos and Fisherman's Grotto, all gone.
You used to be able to walk through there and all those little booths right there would have crab, fish, things they would sell. Now look at them. There's nothing there.
City didn't have their back. And let them go. Look at these iconic places now gone. How can this be? 100 years in business. Not looking good.
I'm just saying this is what the Democrats have done to this wonderful state. They have run it into the ground. They screwed California over big time. Gavin Newsom's, the Pelosi's, the Browns, the Gettys.
Here is that report. The Secretary of State has to basically publish the stats in the state of California for party registration. And what we're seeing is in the last period report, the percentage of voters registered with the Democrat Party decreased from 46.89% to 45.27%. That's more than a 1.5% drop. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but we're talking about a snapshot in time. And you're 1.5% with 22 million people registered. Those are hundreds of thousands of voters that have just simply said, nope, I'm leaving the Democrat Party. The Republican Party increased from 23.83 to 25.22. Again, I'm surprised when I see Republican registrations go up because it's really hard to be a Republican in California. You get canceled a lot. People look, you feel as though, oh, there must be something wrong with me. But you're seeing people say, enough's enough. I'm actually going to join the Republican Party. These numbers are astounding because Republicans are not actually registering voters. They don't have money for voter registration drives. When no one is spending money to register voters on the Republican side, and yet still we're seeing registration numbers shift. Now, there is one guy that's out there that's doing voter registration, but he's not doing it explicitly for Republicans. Rick Grenell with Fix California does voter registration. He targets conservatives who are not registered to vote and is trying to get them registered, but not the California Republican Party. They haven't had a voter registration drive in about 15 years. Okay. It's pathetic. Democrats actually do have a lot of voter registration drives. It's called public welfare. That's right. They get all of the welfare programs to make sure that they encourage people to register to vote. And by the way, the Republicans want to cut this benefit that you're about to get the gravy train rolling on. So think about that as you're registering to vote. So there's a lot of natural advantages that Democrats have to keep their registration advantage. And yet here you have the people voting with their feet. Again, if we get actually a voter registration drive underway in California, these numbers can shift a lot quicker. Also, I think there's a lot of Democrats who are voting Republican. They just don't shift their voter registration. And there's a lot of independents, particularly Latinos, shifting. Now, this weekend, as these numbers are released, the Democrats are getting together for a convention. And we actually have the agenda. Yep, all sorts of craziness going on there. They've got a mother's room, a quiet room, a parent room, a riot room, a woke room, a personal pronoun room. Yeah. Anyway, so they have little training sessions, how to build your base one house party at a time. So apparently they're doing house parties. So yeah, they want to do house parties to recruit volunteers. This is something the Republicans should be doing. It's what Reform California does. We have barbecue, beer, and ballot events. We've got town halls and rallies up and down the state of California. We're doing our voter ID initiative, and we're recruiting tens of thousands of volunteers for that. So we're doing that work, but not the California Republican Party. And so the Democrats are getting together. And while they get this convention going, they really have 5 major problems that they have to deal with, at least 5. Number one, how bad California has become. That's their number one problem. You broke it, you bought it. All right. This is your state, Democrats. You run the show. You have a supermajority. You have the governor's mansion. You have every statewide office. You have a supermajority in Sacramento. You control the local governments as well. You control California, and it is an absolute unmitigated disaster. They've got the highest cost of living in California. We've got record homelessness, 12% of the nation's population, but 55% of the nation's unhoused homeless population. We have a crime wave. When crime is going down nationwide, it's still going up here in California, including violent crime and property crime. We've got failing schools, even though we're spending about $30,000 per student. We see our schools are failing. More than 2/3 of students are failing math proficiencies in the state of California. A majority are failing reading and writing. The list goes on and on. Job losses, companies leaving the state of California at a record pace. That's what's going on in California. So the first thing is that California Democrats, the first problem of the 5 problems they have, is just what a pathetically crappy, awful job they've done running the state. 2/3 of California voters say the state's on the wrong track. So when 2/3 say the state's on the wrong track of voters, they usually vote for the change candidate in the election. Number 2, when I said voters were moving, there's a block of voters that are moving the fastest, and that is the Latino voter. And they have focused on Latino voters as kind of their core foundation block. They always like to divide us amongst our skin color, put us under various identity politics categories. How we fare with Latinos in California, whichever side wins Latinos in California or makes progress with Latinos in California, will likely win the U.S. House of Representatives. Here's roll call. Republican gains among Latino voters face 2026 test in California. Several Hispanic majority seats that shifted towards Trump's are on both parties' radars. Third, Gavin Newsom. Oh yeah, Newsom is one of the 5 problems that Democrats have. And here's why. He's unpopular. And think about it. Nobody wants to say, oh, vote for me because I'm endorsed by Gavin Newsom. Vote for me because I'm going to continue Gavin Newsom's policies. Newsom is epically unpopular. He's in a blue state and he's underwater on his approval ratings by 10 points. Fourth, Kamala Harris. She's another weight around anvil around the neck of Democrats in 2026. None of the Democrats want to see her run for governor because they know that she would be the worst candidate for them. In fact, if Kamala Harris runs, our chances of winning as Republicans, the governor's mansion, probably double. The fifth problem, Donald Trump. For Democrats, yes, Donald Trump's a problem because he's actually increasing in his popularity. And it's a dirty secret that no one in the media wants to talk about, but he got 4% higher ratings, percentage of the vote in California between 2020 and 2024. His numbers in California, people don't like to admit it, but they kind of like his policies. Trump's popularity doesn't seem to bode well for the Democrats. It's, we're not looking at a 2018 midterm. We're looking at a midterm that will likely be break even or better for Republicans in California. And I think it's more going to be on the better side.
All they keep telling us over and over again is Trump is Hitler, Trump's a fascist, Trump's racist, Trump's white supremacy. Latinos, blacks, and other minorities around the nation are waking up to the fact that it's all bullshit. And you can tell by the way the voting is shifting, especially over the last 3 elections. Everybody is going Republican. Come to find out, we want somebody in office who actually cares about the United States. And that's exactly what Trump does. Anyways, I look forward to hearing your comments on this. I'm out.